Hello, everyone. This is Tina from Tina's Workshop. And if you've been with me before, you know the kind of stuff I do. I do lots of different crafts. Um, every I have done everything from cake decorating to spinning my own yarn to doing photography and drawing, and I don't know, you name it, I've probably done it. And you get to follow me along with my craziness. So, welcome to my imagination. This week, I've been actually wanting to do this video for a little while now. I went to San Diego recently and had visited with family, and we went through some old boxes that I had brought with me from my mom's after she had passed away. And I knew that we had a quilter in our family, other than my aunt, who currently is a quilter. But my great great grandmother, she was a quilter, and I knew that, and I knew there were quilts floating around. My aunt has one hanging on her wall, and as I went through my mom's stuff, I found a quilt there, and it's over 100 years old, and it's in really good shape. I forgot to grab it, so I got to reach over and grab it. Um, it's in really good shape for how old it is, but there are a few things I need to repair on it. So, you know, and there's the back of it. It's just really kind of neat to have this item that she had made, and obviously I had never met her. There's a few spots like this that I need to repair, and there was a number of quilts that she had started and not actually finished, and I brought that for my aunt to be able to use because she's the quilter. But I went through some of those and actually found some fabric pieces so that they're relatively the same age as what this was, and I'm going to use them to repair the parts that need repaired. But it was really exciting to, have that. And as we were going through things, there was, you know what, I'm going to put you on table cam because I think it's going to be easier for you to see the things I want to show you. But they were very exciting for me. So, one second, let's see. Okay, that's better. So, as we went through this stuff, we found a number of crochet pieces, and we think that it might be the same person, my great great grandmother, that did these crocheted pieces, but we're not positive. Um, this is a little, probably for top of a dresser. It's not really long enough for a runner, I don't think, but it's a beautiful piece, and it's still in really nice condition. And and then found a few little odds and ends, little tiny pieces that were something, but not sure exactly what. This is another piece that she did, and it's got a peacock. This one's got a little bit of staining, so I might see if I can clean it, but gently, obviously. And then this one was a little apron. How cute is this? And to know that all these pieces are over 100 years old is just really neat. And then to have them still in this good a shape. Such a tiny little apron, though. Women were very tiny. This is more chunky. These have all been the finer crochet cotton. This one's a little bit thicker. And honestly, not really sure what they were for. They're pinned together here. There was a number of these strips. So I don't know what she was doing with it. It almost, I don't know if that's coming apart there or if it had been attached to something else, but it was something else that she had done. And there's still a bunch of the threads that she used. Here's some more little pieces that, oh yeah, this one. I forgot about that one. This one's very dainty, thin threads, and it is a bit stained, but it looks kind of cool still. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? So lots of threads, even some on the old wood spools, which is always fun. Oh yes, and then even some of her old, the little scissors, little needles, her crochet hook, and what was in here? I don't remember. Oh, very pretty button. So in this little pouch that she had used, and she probably stitched that herself too. Oh, here's a old little, aren't those pretty? I know I'm sure she didn't do these, but they were in her stuff, and they're old, and they're very pretty. Okay, let me move those aside. And there was also, boxes even are kind of fun. So this she had done, and it kind of opens along the sides. So I'm guessing maybe when it was originally done, that kind of poofed up a little bit more, so then it probably laid with that little bit of a poof to it. I don't know. Maybe put a bowl on it. But here are some more. Oh, now see, okay, wait. This is crochet. That's crochet. This is different. Okay. Focus. Yeah. Here's a piece that she was crocheting and hadn't finished. So it's still attached to the thread here, but I don't have a pattern in here to know exactly what she was doing with it. Oop. Actually, it looked kind of like that, so I don't know. Oh, that one has almost like a little strap to it. Oh, she was doing more here because see, that one wasn't finished. Neither was that one. One of these were actually completed, so I'm not sure what she'd been doing with them, but they're all such pretty and dainty pieces. I might put a display together sometime, maybe like a shadow box type thing with some of her different pieces, these smaller pieces like this in it. Maybe even stick her crochet hook and stuff in there. It'd be kind of fun. And add a picture of her. I don't know. We'll play around with that idea. See, here's another one. Little strip she had started. Oh, here's one with a little bit of a thicker cotton thread. I can feel the cotton in it. And that one she had into this piece of paper. There's a couple pieces there. Oh, she's got notes on there. Wait. Can't read them. Let's see. Notes on what she was actually stitching. I might be able to compare that though with some of her writing and see if it's the grandmother I thought it was, or if it's the other grandmother, which would be my great-great-great-grandmother. It's one of the two of them. I'm just not positive which one. More threads. Let's see what was in this box. Okay, so now we're getting into something else that I found. Oh wait, there is still some more of the crocheted pieces here. There's another piece. Okay, I guess I have quite a few other little pieces that she had started. And they're all kind of tangled here, so. And more hooks. This one's a pretty one, probably made out of bone. I found some other ones at my mom's like that. This one has a beautiful handle on it. And it is very, very tiny. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Very tiny hook. See if it has a number on it. It says 14. A very tiny hook. She has a little cork. Edith. Well, if this letter I just found is any indication, then it's my great-great-great-grandmother. So that's really cool. Okay, now on to the next thing we found. Also, with all this, and you may have seen some of it pop in here. She was also a tatter. So these are all pieces that had been tatted. And there's her little tatting bobbin or whatever they call it. It's something I've always wanted to learn how to do. I have not yet learned it. Look at, oh my gosh, look how small and dainty. So small and dainty. That was probably needle tatted. I do know about it, just haven't done it. But like you use a single long needle to create that. And there's this. So here's some more of those little ones. Right. Oh, sorry. Out of focus again. There we go. There's some of the tiny ones. And these ones are done a little bit bigger. But this handkerchief was done and attached to this. And it's got more stuff wrapped up inside. But she'd gone around the whole edge of this piece. And then, oop. And then there's more in here that she did. So I have yet to try to unwind things. Oh, here's another little tool. Probably bone again. I love the old tools. That is really cool. Let's see what was in this one. Ooh, purple. Look how good the colors are, too. So if this was my great-great-great-grandmother, that means it's even older. Because the stuff that my great-grandmother would have done, great-grandmother, that stuff would have been over 100 years old. So if it was things that my great-great-great-grandmother did, it was going to be even older than that. And if she did this tatting and crocheting, like I'm thinking maybe because of the letter that was in the box, the colors on that purple, even, for it to still be holding that good a color on it, is really kind of amazing. So let's see, any more tools? She must have been doing a big long piece and then just kept winding it onto here. Okay. Set this aside. Put that over that way. Let's see, what did I have in this box? So, now, okay, crocheting and tatting design, but this was my great-grandmother's. So, I don't really know. See, that's why I'm so confused. I don't know what all was done by which one, except that I know the quilting was my great-grandmother, and I know the last thing I'm going to show you that I'm most excited about was my great-great-grandmother. So this one, copyright 1915, is an old book with crocheting and tatting in it. So might even find some of the different pieces she was doing in here and see what the patterns were. Here's some other little things. This was kind of fun. I had found this in, there was a bunch of cards, random cards that were in all these boxes we went through. And this one was in there, Sleeping Beauty, of course, and with the spinning wheel. So that one was a fun one for me. Let's see. So here's some more crocheting. Look at this. How beautiful is that? The butterfly. This one, let's move this over, was a collar probably for something. Or I guess it could have gone that way too, around a plate or something, maybe even. It's really pretty. So many pieces. They're all attached together, and I'm trying not to unravel anything. So here's some, where'd it go? There it is. Here's some more of the little tatting bobbins. And that one, I think, might be attached to something here. That or the thread is just wrapped around, but that is another piece that was tatted. Some more crocheted pieces. Let's see if I can, there we go, unhook that. I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope I'm not boring you with my long video, but I just found this so interesting to find this in my background more than just with my mother. I learned how to knit and crochet both from my mother. And like I said, I knew my great-grandmother was a quilter, but other than that, I didn't know that there was any of this other craftiness lurking. My uncle is a woodworker and a photographer. I have another uncle that also does photography. I recently learned that my grandmother liked to paint, which I had not known. And I think it's just fun when you find out these things that are in your background, not just that, when people say, oh, you inherited this from your family, but to know that I'm carrying on some of these traditions. that they're still alive, you know? So there's a bunch of these strips she must have been doing for some reason. A whole bunch of them here. All different patterns. Could have been like little collars or cuffs or something maybe. That's pretty. This one I think is called like a pineapple motif. Motif, however you say that. Pattern. That one is interesting. It looks like the blue was crocheted and the other looks like it's been tatted and attached. That's kind of interesting. Very small piece. Here's another little small one. Same thing. Looks like some of it's the blue is crocheted and the white is tatted. So tiny. And working that small is just, I don't know, with my eyesight working that small is a pain. Another pretty multicolored. Some more tatting. And crochet. Oh, here's a little multicolored pink. Let's see. Oh, that's cute. And just some pretty pink. I'm not a pink person, but it does look pretty. Maybe because everything else has been so white. So, and there's more little bits in here. And more tatting shuttles. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. Tatting shuttle. Let's see. Is that in focus? There we go. I want to tell you guys, let me know if it's not in focus, but you can't tell me that. So there you go. I just have to keep making sure you are in focus. This was kind of neat. Like those snap bracelets, except that it is very long and it is a ruler. And it rolls up. See, the new Spring Steel Compact, St. Paul, Minnesota. So that was kind of cool. Oh, we got some pretty old scissors. It's another one of her crochet hooks. And oh, this is going to be another tiny one. It has a sleeve on it. Can you see that tiny tip? Let's see what that one has a number. That's a 10. There's another little one that's probably, again, bone. I guess they would be bone or ivory, one of the two. Anything else? Some more patterns. Probably some of the ones that are in here. Oh, look at that. Shoot. It is actually stitched onto this paper. Maybe she was doing it as samples that she could refer back to or something. Okay. Let's see. Pick this up. Gotta reorganize everything later. So last but definitely not least, the thing I was the most excited about. There was a letter in one of these boxes. And the letter explained different things that were in the boxes. Some of this crocheted stuff was in that box. And there was a section in there talking about my great grandmother. And these pieces of an old wool blanket that were also in there. So they are actually in pieces. It almost, looking at these two pieces here and these pieces here, it almost looks like it's two blankets because the patterning's slightly different, but the same colors. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it speaks about these. And considering they were hers, they're very old, and they are, the fabric part itself is in really good shape. And this note said that my great great grandmother carded the wool, spun and dyed the wool, and wove it. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you will have seen my spinning wheel restoration video that was my grandparents' spinning wheel. But they had, when they bought it, it didn't work and they only used it for decoration. So I restored the spinning wheel, and I love the fact that I inherited it. But I was always kind of bummed in the sense that I wasn't carrying on this spinning tradition from my family. So then I open this box and I find that my great great grandmother spun and wove. Now, it's kind of amazing when you look at this, where the threads are sticking out here. Can you see how fine and consistent that thread is? She spun that thread so fine and so consistent. There's no lumps and bumps in that thing. Any of the different pieces that I have looked at in different areas where it's loose, it's got a crinkle to it because of over 100 years being woven, but it's a fine, consistent thread. And she spun that. She spun so much to do, who knows how big this blanket originally was. And in that note, it also said that it explained some sort of like sewing table, turn desk, turn, I don't know, it turned a few different things. And it had one spoke from her spinning wheel in that. That was all that was left of her spinning wheel, was this one single spoke. And my two aunts looked at each other and they said, I wonder if that's that stick that we have been trying to figure out what it was for so many years. So they may actually have that, which I think would be really cool to end up having, even though it's not her full wheel, but to have that piece of her wheel. And so, I mean, I was so incredibly excited. I mean, I hope you guys understand my enthusiasm. Yeah, I think I said that right. Especially if you're fiber people like myself who really enjoy doing the fiber arts, the knitting, crocheting, whatever. And maybe one day I will actually attempt the tatting that I've always wanted to try. But yeah, that's my little history journey that I have just recently learned about different people in my family. And I'm so incredibly excited to have learned it and to have been able to share it with you. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you did, click like, click subscribe if you'd like to see more, and click that notification if you would like to be notified when I upload things. So hope to see you guys all again soon. And have a good whatever it is in your part of the world. It's nice and warm here right now. We're enjoying it, going into fall, and I do have a fall video I'm going to be working on today too. So see you again soon. Bye.